It is time for a story about a game called DC Universe Online. The story starts here, in a harmless enough looking nightclub. I forget when I first started playing the game. I guess it was... I'm not sure the year. The newest power to come out while I was playing the game was Celestial. So I was playing before that power came out. So when you first entered the game, like the nightclub's crowded, there were people all over the place talking to each other, joking around. And I was like, wow, this is my first time like really playing an MMO. First MMO experience. I always stayed away from MMO because MMOs, the combat in them is always incredibly boring and crappy and repetitive, kind of like DC nowadays. But back in the day, this game, the PvP in it was on point. So you come into this world, right, and you exit this nightclub, and there's all these people around. It's just crowded. There are all these villains just hanging out. And there's all these villains here who are hanging out in the street and stuff, and they're dueling each other, practicing shit, testing each other out, testing what each other can do. And now and then you got heroes who would show up. And these heroes would show up and they'd come down and they'd just show up and they'd start messing people up, just start killing villains. And you'd end up with this whole war right here, where all the villains who are here would suddenly be jumping out, trying to kill. Even the low levels would be participating, trying to destroy these like high level OP heroes who decide to show up to test out how long they can survive fighting the PD before they died. And you come in as a new player and you're like, holy hell. You know, you're like a low level and these high level heroes show up and you and everybody tries to kill them and you're like, my god, these heroes are so strong. I hope I will get to be that strong someday. You know, something like that. Anyways, you just head off to your mission area, and as someone who was starting off as a Joker villain, my original mission area was over here. And I can still remember back in the day playing this game and leveling my very first character. I think it was here, in this spot, that I got attacked for the first time by a player who is a higher level than myself, and I got crushed. And I was like, oh man, would you just wait till I'm stronger, then I'll be the one doing the killing, not you, you know? It just motivate you to get stronger, mess people up even more. Eventually, you got so good at the game that if you're like a level 10 in the mission area and a level 20 try to jump you and attack you, if you were good enough, you would kick that 20's butt and send him running. And then next thing you know, people would see like this level 10 chasing a level 20 through the through the town, talking shit like, yeah, you try to jump me, motherfucker. As the game progressed, like I remember when I first got into this game, like I was so taken by everything in the game. I did all the booster gold missions where you go around and explore Arkham and everything. And I didn't even complete all the missions. Like I got to level 30 without even doing all the main missions because I did all the extra stuff. I managed to get to level 30 just by doing the extra stuff. Because I did everything on my way up to level 30 because I couldn't get enough of this game. Then once I got to level 30, then I joined this crazy ass league. So anyways, I get to level 30, right? I'm thinking to myself, I'm level 30 now. Now I'm as strong as all these other people in the game, so now I can go out and fight. And little did I realize that there's something called PvP gear. So I go out and I start taking people on. I start finding these guys who are going around in mission areas killing low levels, because I'm like, man, I remember getting killed in this spot as a low level, so you know what, I'm gonna come to this spot now that I'm level 30 and I'm gonna wait around for some high level to show up, for some other level 30 to show up, and when he shows up and tries to kill these low levels, I'm gonna jump him and take him out. And that's what I started doing. I started killing all these level 30s that were trying to attack low levels. The only problem is, now and then I'd run into somebody who was the same level as me, level 30, and they would just like one-shot me, like just kill me instantly, and I'd be like, how the hell does that even happen? Couldn't understand it. Because this game doesn't really explain anything to you. It doesn't explain that after you hit level 30, that's just the beginning. That you basically just completed the tutorial, and there's still a whole lot of game to go on. And I remember playing this game during that summer. This game was so packed and there's so many people, you couldn't go anywhere without someone chasing you. Like, I remember someone chasing me all the way through Gotham, and I was like going all over the place trying my best to dodge this person, and they were chasing me like crazy, and I had to go all the way out to like this area here because I had a base over here, a little hideout. And I had to go all the way over here to like where my lair was. I think it was here, and I had to run inside and hide from the guy so he wouldn't kill me. And that was like when I first started playing the game. So anyways, I ended up joining this crazy league of villains, and these villains wanted to take over all of Gotham. So they were constantly like attacking the heroes, they're constantly patrolling the city, and they'd literally go on patrol. They considered North Gotham to belong to them, so they would literally go on patrol, walk around searching for any hero in the area, and they'd kill all heroes in the area, even the ones doing their missions. And I was always like, come on man, why are we killing low levels who are doing their missions? Let's just leave those guys alone and go for the big fish instead. But they wanted to just kill everything on sight. So there's just this big ganking league I joined, and they were just going around bulldozing through everyone in Gotham, and the only way they could really win fights is if they ganked, because they weren't very strong and very few people knew how to actually gear up in the game, because the league itself wasn't very helpful for that. But over time, after I left that league, I then started to learn how to actually get stronger and build myself up and become like a badass and get PvP gear and everything. So eventually I ended up joining the Stealth League, and the Stealth League was intense. Like, this was the most fun I ever had in the game, because I joined some Stealth League, and they would constantly attack this nightclub, and they would always like use stealth. They would plant mines all over the place, and then these guys would run into the mines. Obviously it can't hurt anyone because this is not PvP phase, but back when PvP phase was actually a thing, that was a lot of fun. And mining and assaulting the PD like that was something people would do a lot because it was a huge blast. And the heroes would develop all sorts of strategies to find us and kill us. And there'd be all sorts of wars that take place up and down the street. Like, the heroes would be trying to push the villains down the street, and the villains would be trying to push the heroes, because every time a villain died, the villain would respawn over here. So a villain would respawn here, and then they'd get up and they'd try and attack the nightclub all over again. But the heroes, they would come down this way to try and kill the villains who are respawning. So then we'd end up like meeting somewhere in the middle, like here, and we'd be fighting each other. Every time you killed a hero, they would spawn at the police station, and then they'd come up and fly back, and we'd be like fighting here, trying to push the mob of heroes back to their police station, so that way we can pin them against the police station and just keep killing them. Meanwhile, they're trying to pin us and stick us in the bubble, and it just becomes this huge war back and forth. This used to be a meetup spot in Gotham. A lot of people would hang out, sort of like Chinatown Rally, only this was like the chill area in Gotham for some reason. People around here, they would like duel each other and they'd hang out, and you'd have like a bunch of heroes standing around here and a bunch of villains standing around here, and they'd all be doing battle with each other. Or just, you know, talking all chill and Gotham, I mean in the shout chat. But yeah, PvP phase back then was crazy. North Gotham, you didn't have a whole lot going on. The Diamond district, Diamond Heist was always crazy. You had a whole bunch of people showing up to Diamond Heist trying to win it like every time there was a Diamond Heist. So Diamond Heist, you were always like guaranteed action there, and there's usually like wars taking place down here too. For some reason, there's certain areas you'd find like heroes a lot. Like a lot of heroes would keep going to Mr. Freeze's hospital because that's a villain mission area only for only villains. So there were heroes that would just like camp out in that mission area looking for people to kill, and then you'd show up to kill the heroes who were trying to stop people from leveling, and then more heroes would show up, and there'd be a huge war inside Mr. Freeze's area, and then suddenly like Green Arrow and the Black Canary would suddenly jump in. And then there's this. I remember, man, there were so many wars that took place in this little park right here, because the hero police station is right there and the villain nightclub is right there on the other side. So they would be fighting each other right here. Like this whole area was practically a battleground, like a war zone. And the Flash is around here, so the Flash was constantly like joining in and helping the heroes out. So it's like, oh crap, the Flash is helping the heroes again. The heroes seem to have a lot of bounties helping them fight, and there's a lot of wars that took place down here, because there are plenty of people who would come here, plenty of heroes who would come here for the purpose of killing people doing missions. But this is both a mission area for heroes and villains. So when you get heroes and villains both doing the same mission area, they're going to start killing each other, and then they're going to start going to shout chat saying, help me, I'm being killed, we're doing my mission. And then next thing you know, you got a bunch of heroes and villains going to war all over this place. I remember one time Mets spawned like a giant boss in this map, and everybody was like fighting this giant friggin' boss. So that's kind of what Gotham was like back in the day. People used to always get the zombie form too. The zombie form used to be OP, and they'd get the zombie form from there and they'd leave using a trinket, and then they'd go around Gotham messing people up in zombie form. Let's warp to Metro. But there's tons of wars that were taking place. It was epic. Warp menu. Did I not click on Metro? There we go. Metro, you had like entire like gangs of like heroes and villains just marching down the streets looking for each other. Like I remember one time, like there's this huge mass of villains. I don't even know, or maybe we were heroes. No, we were villains. This huge mass of villains of like, is that somebody actually playing the game? What is that? Oh, nothing. So this was another meetup spot on PC. A lot of heroes and villains would like stand here. They'd stand on this fence, and they'd like duel each other here, and they'd duel each other in front of the Superman statue. So the Superman statue was a popular hangout spot on PC. On top of that, on PlayStation, the popular hangout spot seemed to have been Chinatown Rally down here. This was the popular hangout spot on PlayStation for some reason. And then on PC, there's two popular hangout spots. There's one was the Superman statue. The other was this hospital. They would go on this hospital roof, which was a terrible spot for them. I kept telling them to go over to Star Labs. I kept saying we should meet at Star Labs and duel at Star Labs instead. And they refused to do it. And then I come and I join PlayStation, and PlayStation's telling me about this thing called Fight Club. I'm like, what's Fight Club? And they take me to Star Labs and show it, and they're like, oh, this is where we duel. I'm like, you guys are geniuses. I've been telling people on PC to use this spot for dueling for so long, and they refused. But you guys on PlayStation, you know what the fuck you're doing. So yeah, this was Fight Club, and Fight Club was a spot where all the best players in the game would get together and duel each other here. Now we're just